What is going on, everybody? Have you ever gone to Starbucks and got a drink with whipped cream and it's kind of coming out the top of your little clear plastic dome on your lid and then you licked it off? Well, you might want to play Slaanesh. This is the Keeper of Secrets. We're going to talk about it. Power level 13, great for getting started. I recommend playing some 50 power level games until you get the hang of your army and start getting some of the hang of the rules and the stats down, kind of memorized. Great for new players. And then for points, we're looking at 240 with every loadout except that wonderful shield, 250. So a little pricey, about 100 points less than a Knight Gallant. This thing is pretty strong. Move 14, it drops a little bit though when it gets wounded, 11 and 7. Weapon skill 2, ballistic skill 2, strength 6, toughness 7, 16 wounds, which is very nice. 6 attacks, which will reduce while you take wounds. 4 extra attacks from the snapping claws, which will go down when you take wounds. Leadership 10, 6 plus save. Once again, just like Shalaxi Hellbane, if you take the whip, it's range 6, assault 6, strength 6, AP 2 damage, and you can shoot it within 1 inch of enemies and at other units within 1 inch of your friendly units, which is like a pistol but better because you can provide shots into another combat that you're not a part of. And you do have a skill 2, so you can run and shoot it on a 3. Kind of cool. I don't know if you're going to take the whip though. Maybe, but I feel like a big problem with these models is surviving turn 1 if you don't go first. And if you're not playing with enough terrain to hide, and this model's big, so it's going to be hard to hide. You don't want to die turn 1, especially not if you spend 250 points on it. So let's get into the claws. You're going to make 4 additional attacks unwounded with the claws after you fight. These are strength 6, AP 3, 3 damage. 6s to wound are AP 4. Very nice, extra attacks, going to do some good damage. The sword is strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage, and if you wound a model, that model gets -1 to hit for the rest of the game, which is pretty cool. So if you attack first and wound like a knight or something, then they attack back. They will be at -1 to hit you, assuming you didn't kill it, which you probably won't kill it in 1 round. But if you can drop it a weapon skill or 2 from your attacks and then a -1 to hit on top, not too shabby. That's going to increase your survivability, assuming you made it across the board and got into combat. We got Quicksilver Swiftness, which means you can run in charge and people around you can run in charge if you're a Battleforged Slaanesh army. The Demonic means you have a 5-up invuln save because you have a 6-up armor save, which is terrible. They really should take into account that these things are supposed to be lightning fast, and even though you don't technically wear armor, you either should have a better invuln save or some kind of like, oh, I'm lightning fast, so I have a 4-up armor save or a 3-up armor save, something like that. But they don't really give the demons that. Only Khorne sometimes will get armor saves. You're a greater demon slash, so friendly units within 6 inches get your leadership of 10. Nice to help your guys not run away, of course. You have the mesmerizing aura. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made with melee weapons that target this model. Pretty sweet, especially if you wounded them with that sword. Now they're at a -2 to hit you back. Pretty cool. This really should just be a -1 to attack you, period, because you're so fast. And that's the same with Shalaxi. They should just have -1 to be shot at or hit in hand-to-hand combat. Would help their survivability a lot, especially against, if you've looked at 40K lately, there are some very big guns in the game that do a lot of damage, and you don't want to be on the receiving end of them if you're a big, expensive model. So you can reroll wound rolls of 1 for attacks made by this model. That's both shooting if you take the whip and hand-to-hand. Super awesome because you're strength 6, strength 8. You'd be strength 7 and strength 9 around a herald. Pretty powerful. Your options here are the knife, the shield, the hand, or the whip. We talked about the whip already. The ritual knife, after you finish a consolidate move, roll a dice with an enemy unit within 1. On a 1, nothing happens. 2 through 5, they take a mortal wound. On a 6, they take D3 mortal wounds. We're talking about a big god of chaos here, and they're giving it like some little piddly do a mortal wound after you fight and consolidate into something. I see no value in this whatsoever. Hopefully whatever you charged is dead. Maybe sometime, though, you're going to leave one wound on a model, consolidate into it, and then kill it with this knife. I don't know. Seems like it should just be an addition, or maybe just D6 mortal wounds if you complete a charge. Something like that would be way cooler and really increase your damage output. Shining Aegis is a 6-up, feel no pain, 5-up, feel no pain against mortal wounds. I kind of like this. Even though it's 10 points, I feel like survivability is your main concern with this model, assuming you don't go first. And then you got the hand, the bleeding hand, sinister hand. If you kill anything in hand-to-hand combat that's not a vehicle, you get D3 wounds healed to you, which is awesome. Healing is like, survivability, but you do have to get into combat, and that doesn't help you survive turn 1. So I'd be concerned with that if you're going to deep strike this model, which is not a bad idea. You're going to have to roll that 9-inch charge, but just roll 9s. It's easy. And you win games, roll 9s. Super simple. Maybe you take that one for the heal. If you're planning on deploying and just hoping you go first, maybe take that little shield just for that extra little boost to damage reduction. Ignoring some wounds on 6s might save you a tier in your damage chart, and maybe you won't lose any movement. This model can cast 2 spells. Always good to have a double caster. Very powerful. Some of the Slaanesh spells are pretty interesting. We'll get into those later, but any of them are probably worth taking, except for, there's like one pretty bad one, but they're all worth a shot that maybe trying to pull off, and, smite plus something else, always good. And so you're not a character or a unique character, so you can take a warlord trait. I really, really like, there's 2 that I like. One is a 6-inch -1 attack aura, and it doesn't affect vehicles, unfortunately, so it won't affect Imperial Knights. But if 2 attack models charge you, they all have their attacks cut in half. Pretty powerful. It's attack characteristic, so it doesn't take away the extra chainsword attack or the extra Zangor sword attack or whatever. But if they're 2 attack or more characteristic, you do take away one of those attacks. And if it is a weapon that instead of making 1 attack, you make 3, that's equivalent to taking away 3 attacks against some models. So that's pretty cool. But I think I'm going to go with the Warlord trait plus 3 movement. You're going to run in charge with this model, hopefully first turn, and get across the board. And that's going to make you move 17 inches, which is insanely fast. 17 plus a D6 run plus 2D6 charge. You're very likely to be able to hit something in combat first turn and screw up your enemy's plans, hopefully. So this is going to depend especially on how they deploy. If they deploy poorly, they're going to blame you for some cheesy first turn charge stuff, but in reality, they're going to need to just see you coming ahead of time, deploy back, set up some screens, but you'll still be right in their face first turn. So it's worth a shot. Something that might save your life is the Forbidden Gem, which is a relic. This is pick a character within 12 of you, roll 3 dice if it's over their leadership, 3 dice, add them together over the character's leadership, and you can remove a phase from them in the opponent's turn. So if this is an Imperial Knight character, like say they upgraded one of their knights to a character, you could make it not shoot in the shooting phase, or make it not charge in the charge phase, or let it charge in the charge phase and then make it not fight in the fight phase. So pretty strong. And you have some abilities to lower leadership around you. Like, it's possible in this army. But kind of interesting, right? If you charge up to Pask or an Igard player and kill something, and then he's going to blow you away with 40 shots with Pask or some kind of relic battle cannon that Pask can't have a relic battle cannon, but a tank commander, he's a character. You can basically cancel out a phase and maybe save your life. And there's some big characters, right? If Magnus is going to charge you, or Gilliman or somebody, being able to prevent that charge from even happening, super powerful, and then you charge them on their turn. Also, they cannot use any aura abilities or abilities that heal other models. So if it's a Gilliman gunline, and you use that on Gilliman in the shooting phase, he can't shoot, okay, but he also provides no reroll hit, no reroll wound aura that turn. Could be pretty powerful if you pull it off. It's a very, very good relic. It's going to win you some games. It's going to be some key plays. It's a one-use relic, and I don't know if the Keeper is the right model for it, because you can't hide your Keeper very well. If you put it on like a Demon Prince or something, you could get that Demon Prince up there to use it, and also not be targeted in shooting first turn unless they have, snipers or something. So pretty cool. You can also give the Keeper, if you want, instead of the Forbidden Gem, you can give it +1 attack. Add a further attack every time you kill a character or monster. This all means you're in combat and you're killing stuff. Okay, we got to get there first. That's the most important thing with this model at 240 points, 250 with the shield. You can also give it the Slaanesh sword, which is called Soul Stealer. And this is a +1 strength sword, AP3, 3 damage. And each time you slay a model, the bearer regains 1 lost wound and re-roll all failed wound rolls against Eldar. Never mind, this is terrible because you have a better sword on your profile because this codex came out way before this model came out with its new rules. So forget that. Never take that sword. Your sword is better. Don't ever take that sword. You could take the Slothful Claws. That replace. Oh, that's for Herald only. So never mind. Don't even worry about that. Forbidden Gem or +1 attack if you want to give this lady man a relic. And that's about all we got for the Keeper of Secrets. Hopefully you're enjoying this deep dive into the Slaanesh demon. It's slippery when wet, and it's a good time. I think this army is beautiful on the table, and I think there's a lot of potential here. Now, we're going to keep going in deeper and deeper into this. So we're going to keep going through the HQs, so please subscribe if you're interested in Slaanesh Demons, if you're interested in painting, if you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, we got a link below. If you're interested in buying anything from eBay or Amazon, I got links below that do help support the channel. If you click them and make a purchase, that will help me upgrade my channel. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon.